Hi, this is Chris Hicks. It's currently December 1st, and if you love cats and dogs, keep listening. About last Tuesday, a woman named Eva Devon contacted me, who is with Clermont to the Rescue, who currently runs the animal shelter. She wanted to know how to get on the agenda for being able to speak during public participation time in a county commissioners meeting, of which I am pretty much the county expert. I gave her some information on who to contact, and I heard a little bit of her story. And she did contact them. But let's fast forward to Wednesday, November 29th in the county commissioners meeting. So I was sitting there because I was planning to present. Eva was in the room, and I guess she was planning to present at that time. And there were a bunch of other people in the room, and something very weird happened. There was an add-on done in the agenda that rammed through a deal with another organization called Clermont Animal Humane Society. And so let me just give you a little background, and then I'm going to play the video of the meeting and then of Eva speaking during public participation time. But here's the background. On Tuesday, the day before the commissioners meeting at 9 p.m., there was nothing on the agenda about any award of a contract for running the animal shelter. In fact, on Wednesday, the day of the meeting, when the meeting started, actually the agendas being handed out did not have on them listed anything to do with awarding a contract for the animal shelter. So what happened was Wednesday during the meeting, the commissioners meeting, it was done as what's called an add-on. An add-on is something not on the agenda, and personally I don't think it should be done unless it's a very extreme circumstance, because it basically means the public was not informed that it was going to take place, had no chance to know that it was going to take place during the event. But what was so weird about the actual meeting is that there were a bunch of people there from the Clermont Animal Humane Society, so they apparently knew it was going to be on the agenda, and they were all set to introduce themselves and so on and so forth. So it just seemed, right from the beginning, it seemed like something weird backroom swampish is going on here, that this is not on the agenda, but all these people are here for this. So let's go and look at some things that happened on Tuesday. I got some emails from Eva when she requested to speak. So this is from Tuesday at 8:21. She had requested to speak, and she gets told by Tom Eigel, the interim county administrator, at 8:21 a.m., about 25 hours before the county commissioners meeting, that she is not allowed to speak. And the yellow part says, the request for proposal process is ongoing, and any discussion regarding the RFP process would be inappropriate. So she gets told 25 hours before that she can't present, and there's nothing on the agenda, no reference to anything about a selection being announced. So let's go about a little more than an hour ahead in time to 9:33 a.m. on Tuesday. It's now about 24 hours before the award takes place. And again, she gets told she can try to talk. They never give you a straight answer. That's a whole separate discussion. But it's the highlighted yellow part says, discussion regarding the process prior to the award of the contract would be inappropriate. So again, you have this no reference to that they're going to award the contract, but she's being told not to talk about it. Okay. Now, let's go to Tuesday at 5:35 p.m., also Tom Eigel, the interim county administrator, who, by the way, as far as I understand from one of the commissioners, makes the agenda for the meeting, again echoes the sentiment, you can request to speak during public participation time, etc. But there's no reference to there's going to be an award granted or anything like that in here. So it all just kind of smelled to me, because then you had this group in there, Eva was there, and this other group, a bunch of people were there from this other outfit. This is a chart. They had charts to hand out, and just kind of sitting there as a citizen wondering, well, this kind of seems strange. Something not even on the agenda has a big group of people here to talk about it, and they have handouts. And it just seemed off. It seemed swampish. It seemed backroom, but nothing surprises me anymore in the way Clermont County operates and the kind of dealings that take place. So that's kind of a setup to the process, background to the process. What I'm going to play for you now is a video of them doing this award announcement that, remember, was not on the agenda, was added at the last minute, and they got a big presentation and all these people ready to introduce themselves. And then there'll be Eva talking during the public participation time, and I got to take my hat off to her to stand up there and still talk after what had just happened to her without any advance notice. I'm not making any representations, folks, as to whether Clermont to the Rescue is better or Clermont Care Animal Humane Society is better. I am just making the observation as, why don't we just do honest, transparent, public notification things in Clermont County? Why do we always have these backroom, swampish type things where something gets done as an add-on that hours before the meeting nobody would have known, except apparently the one group, that it was going to be part of the agenda? Just in the spirit of full disclosure, we have two animals that came from the shelter. This one is Tilly. You've seen in some of my videos. Tilly, face the camera, Tilly. As you can tell, Tilly's upset because she thinks she should get more biscuits for video appearances, and so she's kind of having a strike. And we have a cat named that we call Poops that we also got at the shelter. When we got it, it was super young. It had some problems, and thus the name that got attached to it was Poops. They're both great animals. We're both animal lovers here, and my wife's particularly a lover of getting animals from shelters, not bred animals. Any event, watch the videos, see the award presentation, and then see Eva talk, and just ask yourself, does this seem like something shaky's going on when this award presentation all came together without even being on the agenda?
Should we do the add-ons now
Yes.
or later?
Yes, now,
Does it matter which order?
yes. The operating agreement is first, there you go, Randy.
Here I am.
I was looking.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. This item is a recommendation to accept the proposal submitted by and enter into an operating agreement with Clermont Care Animal Humane Society located at 1015 Seabrook Way, Cincinnati, Ohio, for the administration of the statutory requirements of Chapter 95.5 of the Ohio Revised Code relative to the housing, feeding, caring for, destroying, and disposing of boneless and stray dogs within Clermont County, Ohio. The operating agreement amount is $310,000, and the effective period is January 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2018. The agreement includes an option for renewal for 2 additional one-year terms. This is contingent upon the board adopting annual appropriations for 2018 and the issuance of a purchase order. The handout that you received is one of the handouts that we received when their team came to the presentation to the review panel that I think encapsulates the skill set of the board. That is the leadership team for this group. You can see there's a lot of experience working with a variety of humane societies and shelters. And the back side of that page shows all the partnerships that they have, either financial commitment or commitments to partner with them to take animals, provide low or reduced free services or reduced cost services. I'm going to talk a little bit about the process that we went through. The RFP was advertised September 23rd to the 25th in the Inquirer. Proposals were due October 20th. We received 2 proposals, one from this group and one from the current operator. A panel of county employees reviewed the proposals and conducted interviews with both responders. The panel of employees consisted of me, Adele Evans, and Kelly Perry. I would like to note Adele and Kelly were on the prior review panel in 2014, 2015, last time this was put out for bid. And they were part of that 4-person review panel that selected the current operator. We individually scored each proposer based on their proposals and supplemented by the presentations and answers to questions from the panel. Based on the score, I proceeded to negotiate the operating agreement with Clermont Animal Care Humane Society. A few key items about Clermont Animal Care Humane Society. They have very strong support from the Animal Rescue Volunteer Network locally. 17 reference letters were included in their proposal, most of which were from local rescue agencies, with renewed commitments from some of these that had stopped working with the county over the past 2 to 5 years. Those new commitments to partner include the League for Animal Welfare, University of Cincinnati Blue Ash College, the Vet Tech program, UCAN, which is United Coalition for Animals, I believe is the largest low-cost or free spay-neuter organization in the Cincinnati area. Clermont Animal Care also has commitments for the following: over $100,000 in contributions from individual donors, a grant to fund the free spay-neuter of 50 pit bulls, and free or reduced cost services from UC Blue Ash Vet Tech program and the League for Animal Welfare. The organization has a goal of becoming the first county-affiliated no-kill open admission shelter in Ohio by the end of 2018. And it's a pretty big goal. The board of directors and advisory board members have extensive experience with rescue agencies and shelters. This includes the 23-year executive director of the Boone County Animal Shelter, which is on their advisory board, and she's listed on that page there, which is no-kill and open admission. So they've got some really key staff that are ready to help set up operating procedures from day one on how to make this work effectively. And many of the 17 people on that page are also committed to working regular volunteer shifts at the kennel as well. In conclusion, I'd just like to say that I'm confident that we fully complied with the competitive sealed proposal process specified in Ohio Revised Code, Chapter 307.862. It was my first time taking a project through from beginning to end, the competitive sealed process. So I made sure multiple times throughout the process to check with Tom Eigel, who managed this process last time, as well as the county prosecutor's office, to make sure we were doing everything correctly. And I'm very confident that we are fully compliant with that process. I also want to point out the recommended organization. They were professional, they were prepared, they had a positive attitude throughout this entire experience. The strong leadership team and the extensive partnership network that they have, I believe they'll be able to execute on the goals listed in this proposal. It's a very impressive team. I know some of the board members are here, so if there's any questions that you have that I cannot answer, hopefully some of them can.
You said they've already raised money for this facility. How much was that?
$100,000 from individual donors, plus they have a grant for the spay and neuter of 50 pit bulls. And I believe it also said another $3,000 grant for additional spay and neuter services.
You mentioned there are members of the board here.
Yes.
Could we ask them to stand and introduce themselves?
I'd be happy to. Would you like me to go ahead?
Sure.
My name is Cindy Unkenholt, and I am with Clermont Animal Care Humane Society. I'm serving as the vice president. I have experience with a number of different rescues. I have fostered, I have adopted, I have walked, I have managed. Currently, I have, for the last 5 years, been with Save the Animals Foundation. It is a no-kill facility, but it's not a county shelter, and it's not open admission. So certainly, I'm looking to take things further, but I do have that experience in helping to manage a shelter. I am just part of our group. I'm one small part. We have people with experience in many different aspects of animal rescue and shelter. So we have a member on our team that is a registered veterinary technician. We also have people who are experienced in business and marketing and entrepreneurial and also county shelters. So we are a coalition. We are purpose-built to take this mission on and to be successful. We also have several other members
Go
here.
ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi.
You don't need to be as, you can be, or you choose not to be.
She introduced a lot of our team already. My name is Carolyn Evans. I'm a member of the Clermont Animal Care Humane Society. I'm the executive director, and I have experience with several organizations in the community. I was the former board president of United Coalition for Animals, which is the largest spay-neuter clinic in the area. Just celebrated 106,000 surgeries since we opened the doors. I was the board president at the time that we opened that clinic. Actually, I was the vice president. Carol was the president. And I'm also the board president of My Fur Valentine, which is the area's largest animal adoption event. We do about 1,000 surgeries, 1,000 adoptions every year on Valentine's Day.
Wow.
My name is Robin Tackett. I am the board president for Clermont Animal Care Humane Society. I'm also involved in animal rescue. I started my own nonprofit for free spay neuter for pit bulls, which are the most overbred and most euthanized breed in the country. So we're hoping to extend that to the Clermont County area and focus on the pit bulls in this area. I also foster for a pit bull rescue. And we're really excited to have this opportunity to make Clermont County the shining star of the state of Ohio.
Thank you.
I am I'm not on the board, but I am on the advisory board. My name is Carol Sanger, and I was president of the League for Animal Welfare for the prior 3 years, and I'm on the board of the League for Animal Welfare, running its capital campaign right now, which is another topic. But I was one of the founders of UCAN, also one of the founders and past president of the Pets in Need, which is pet wellness, providing care for low-income residents so that they can keep their animals at home and not surrender them in shelters. I'm very proud to be affiliated with this group and to represent the League, and the League is a partner, a very active partner, will be with the Clermont Animal Care Humane Society. Thank you.
And last but not least, I'm Ray Compagna. I'm also with the organization. I'm the Y chromosome that backs up all the double X's over here. But I do a lot of the business development and all the back end work for the ladies. So happy to be here. Thank you.
This is always a very emotional thing because we all love our pets, and we strive to try to find good homes for those that are there and avoid at all costs the euthanizing of pets. So that's something that's always an issue, but still, really appreciate you and your team going through these bids and finding the one that's the best recommenders. And I'll entertain a motion to accept the proposals submitted by the Clermont Animal Care Humane Society, and then to execute the operating agreement with the Board of County Commissioners in Clermont Animal Care Humane Society, effective calendar year 2018, with contingencies as referenced in the end.
So moved. Second?
Mr. Painter,
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey,
Aye.
Mr. Hubert,
Yes. Good luck. Thank you for submitting your bids. It's a nice overview. Very impressive team. Okay.
So that was the award presentation, and next is Eva talking and making her remarks. The funny thing about it, I asked her after the meeting, had she been notified at all that there was going to be a award presentation? The answer is no. So had she not been there to speak, she wouldn't even have known that this was happening, which is just absurd to me. Why do we have this swamp thing go on constantly in our county under the quote-unquote leadership we have today? So enjoy watching Eva speak.
This will all be in past tense since you already gave the contract to the other group. I'm going to go ahead and read it. My name is Eva Vaughn. I live in the Goshen area. I am president of Clermont to the Rescue and have had the joy of running the Clermont County Animal Shelter. I took over the animal shelter in 2015. Animals are very important to me. They cannot fend for themselves. I am proud of many accomplishments over the last 3 years. Chief among them is that we earned the designation of being a no-kill shelter by cutting the euthanasia rate. 2014, the prior operators had euthanized about 3,000 animals, and 2016 we took that number down to 29. I was told it could not be done. The dramatic improvement was no accident. It took hard work and commitment. A selection process is ongoing on the future care with the two bidders, us and Clermont Animal Cares. I appreciate the value of a fair and well-run selection process. The process in 2014 in which we were selected included a 5-person committee drawn from different parts of Clermont County government. I'm deeply concerned about what is happening now. First, the committee made the decision itself as a concern. It is officially only 3 people. There is no depth or breadth, but even worse, the 3 people are a boss and 2 people who report to him. Andy Kuchta is on the committee with his employees, Adele Evans and Kelly Perry. It's a concerning situation in which members of the committee making an important decision are not independent. Add to that a 4th committee member, Holly Crewley, had to be removed for conflict of interest. She had a relationship with the other group. She's with them. Andy has also worked with Robin Lynn, the owner of the Slice of Stainless Steel. They've known each other for years, so that was conflict of interest. He should not have been on that committee. Mr. Kuchar, finally, because Mr. Kuchar had no experience in the process, he relied on Tom Eigel to serve as a consultant. Tom has a conflict with working with, because he has worked with me. He should not be involved. It should be a level playing field for all with independent committee members. Second, the tactics being used in the process are a concern. To start, the other bidder includes a disgruntled volunteer who has used false claims against us and attempted to demonize us. One example has been the pictures of animals coming in claim they reflect the state of shelter and care for the animals. Another is the use of false claims with the press. Twice we had reporters to us, twice they found nothing. It should be a fair process for all without falsehood or malice. Steve Rabel talked to the press about this problem. Finally, some strange things have happened in the process. The biggest is the other bidder was telling people in late October that they had already been selected and it was a done deal. That was before bids were even taken. This was done at a Halloween party at Pet Suites on State Route 50. So this was before selection was even made. That speaks volumes to me of the lack of independence on the committee and falsehood spread as truth along the way. They also already came up to my volunteers wanting all but 3 of them. Why would you come to my volunteers and want them if you don't know if you have a contract yet? There's been a breakdown on too many fronts on this process, and even before 2017, the county has not participated in one single meeting with us after doing so in 2015 and 2016. The timely of our monthly meetings ending is curiously aligned to false reports being spread to the press through a disgruntled volunteer aligned to now removed committee member, Holly. So what am I asking? I'm asking for the process to be fair. The commitment should consist of independent members and be of reasonable size. The evaluation should be based on facts and not falsehood. Narratives shot to the press. People with conflicts of interest should be truly uninvolved. It's very important for our county and for the animals. Thank you for letting me speak even after the decision. I appreciate it.
So that's it, folks. Remember the 2 groups, Clermont to the Rescue, that currently runs the shelter, and Clermont Care Animal Humane Society. I'm not taking sides in which one is the right one, but I am making a statement that we deserve better from our government, more open, honest, and transparent processes, and it is absurd that there was no chance for anybody in the public to know that that award presentation was taking place, except apparently the Clermont Care Animal Humane Society, which they appear to be the only people that got notice that it was going to happen since they were all there.